progreso, honor, and respects. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. So before I begin the video, I want to say thank you. If you saw the intro to the video, that is by an artist. His name is El Conquistador. That is his artistic name. He sent me some of his music to review. He's still working on it. So, and I heard a part of the song and I said, listen, do you mind if I can use that for my intros to some of my videos? He said, yes, thank you very much. So I just want to say thank you to El Conquistador. He's still working on his album, and when it does come out, I'll talk more about that. But he does have a YouTube channel. I'll leave links down below where you can check out the few videos that he has out there. But I want to say thank you to El Conquistador for allowing me to use Sea Santísimo, which is a very important song that we use in Espiritismo and Caribbean Espiritismo when we do spiritual working within our traditions. So again, thank you, El Conquistador. I just wanted to say a shout out to him. So I am titling the video today, Spiritual Protection Techniques for Paranormal Investigators. Now, why is the reason that I'm doing this video? Well, I received a message on one of my YouTube channel, one of my YouTube videos, and I'm going to leave a picture of the person. I asked the person if I can, talk about this and show their comment. The question was, they are a spiritual investigator. What are some ways that they can protect themselves and defend themselves from spiritual attachments, from spiritual parasites, spirits? When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about spirits, espíritus, and how can they protect themselves when they are doing spiritual investigations, whether it could be a home, a location, or a place. What are some of the ways that they can protect and defend not just the investigator, but also the crew? I said, this is a great video, so I would like to, instead of just talk to her or to this individual, I want to do a video on how to, so that all my YouTubers can watch. So I'm going to show you techniques that we use in Hispanic Caribbean traditions within Espiritismo. They're very important. So the first thing, when you go to investigate a home, pay attention to your emotions, your feelings. What do you feel? Now, another thing is that spirits, especially those spirits that are lower vibration energy, they are pretty much bullies. And what they like to do is they like to feed off your very own fear. When you feel fear, they are more able to attack you or to attach themselves to you. They become like parasites. They feed off that fear. So the first thing that I always tell people when you go to investigate, okay, you have to ground, okay, just literally ground yourself, okay, center, like literally center yourself, and you have to shield yourself. You have to place a shield of protection around you, a wall, a barrier, okay? So how do you ground yourself? Well, when I go to investigate, the first thing is spirits, like I said, they feed off your energy, they feed off your fear, and you'll start getting nervous, and you start getting, especially if the energy is very strong, very powerful. There's been times when an entity has literally jumped on me and I've taken a step back. I have to stop. I have to stop myself, and first of all, I have to ground myself. And how do I ground myself? Well, breathe slower. Just really breathe slower and get that oxygen within your brain, within your blood. Breathe so slower and ground yourself. Visualize yourself grounding yourself. Center yourself. Just get that energy within you. Breathe slower, okay, and center. Just center yourself. Don't let your emotions go crazy. Don't let your emotions go wild. If your emotions go wild, energies, lower level entities or energies can see that, they can feel that, and they will use that to their best advantage against you. So ground and center yourself. Ground, center, visualize yourself, just centering yourself, finding that place within inside yourself that's at peace. Even though you don't feel comfortable around your surroundings, find that place within inside you that is centered, that peaceful part of yourself. And the next part is to shield yourself. Place a shield. Okay, so think about it this way: when we go to places where, and we do it automatically, humans do it automatically, when we feel, especially alpha males and alpha females, when they feel a rival come, they lift up their chest, they want to seem menacing. That's how you ground, you center, and you shield yourself. You're grounding, you center, but you're doing it in a spiritual essence. And then you send out that vibration, which is the shield part. You're sending out that vibration of, don't mess with me, I'm not the one. You know what I'm saying? So when you create a shield, you can visualize a circle of light, literally just a circle of light around you, or you can shield yourself by having your spirit guides, visualizing your spirit guides around you, creating a barrier of protection. Okay, some people will call on angels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel. Some people will call on a spirit guide, whether it be their head spirit guide, their principal spirit guide, and other spirit guides to walk them and to shield them, to create a shield or a barrier of protection. So please remember to ground yourself. Don't breathe fast. If you breathe fast, it's like a dog. They know. Think about a dog. When you're around them, you have to be calm. You have to breathe, and you know, put the hand never above them, but below them. Okay, but you have to be calm, because dogs or animals, they can sense your emotions. So spirits can sense your emotions. So always ground yourself, center yourself, and shield yourself. Really important when it comes to doing anything that has to do with the world of spirit. There are times when a spirit will pop up. It's happened to me out of nowhere. An energy will pop up that's very threatening, and I will take a couple steps back. It's very normal. But then either fight or flight kicks in, and I'm not one to fight. I'm usually one to stand my ground. And so, whoa, you startled me. So then I ground myself, I center myself, and I shield myself. I throw this energy like I'm not the one. So again, just so you can mentally visualize this, ground yourself. Create a foundation, a stable foundation. Ground yourself. Center yourself. Create a center pole or an axis mundi where you can connect that peace within yourself, the higher level of peace, your spirit guides. You're creating that center post, and shield yourself. You're creating a barrier around yourself. So think about it as you are creating a home. Okay, or a person that creates a house. They first start off with a foundation. The house is only as strong as the foundation. So they start off with a foundation. Then they put the poles, or the 4 poles, or the center post to hold the house. And then they put the barrier, the walls. So you're going to do that. You're going to ground, create that foundation, center, that axis mundi, that center pole, and shield yourself. Okay. So now I want to talk about the arsenal or the items that we use in spiritism or spiritualism when it comes for us to spiritually investigate a home, a location, an area. These are things that we use, and you have to have faith in everything that you use. I'm going to use them the way we use them in Espiritismo. Use the ones that you use in your tradition, okay? But use prayer. Prayer is the most important force that we have against. It is one of our greatest tools for spiritual protection. Now, I'm going to use, when I go to investigate a home, or I feel there's a lower level entity, I find prayers within the Libro Escogida, and I just dropped the page. I'm going to show you an English version right here. I think everyone should own it. Find the prayer in that English book for lower level entities so that they go into the light. Prayer, it's so important. Now, you don't necessarily have to use these ones. These are the ones that we use in Espiritismo. Use the prayers that you use within your tradition. So if you practice an Asian form of spiritualism, use the prayers that are part of your Asian culture. I mean, if you don't believe in this, it's not going to work. The prayers, you have to have faith in what you're saying. If you are Native American, you use Native American prayers. If you are pagan, you use pagan prayers. You call on your spirit guides. You call on your divinities, your deities. But use prayer is one of the most important tools that we use for spiritual protection, especially when it comes to investigating a place, an area. Learn the prayers, and also sometimes you just don't want to recite a prayer. When you talk to a spirit, talk to the spirit with authority. So when you encounter a lower level entity or a spirit that attaches itself, spirits can attach themselves and they become like a parasite. They feed off your energy and they weaken you. So our prayer is like a vitamin. Literally, it's like a vitamin, or it's like a antibacterial. It's like a pill that protects us from antibacteria. And not just a prayer, but when we speak to the spirit, you have to speak to the spirit with authority. You cannot speak to the spirit if you're nervous. You have to literally muster all the courage and strength within you. And en el nombre del Dios Padre todo es poderoso, busca de la luz. You know what I'm saying? You have to talk to it in an authoritative voice. You cannot say, en el nombre de Dios, you need to find the light. You can't be. No, you can't talk to that way. You have to. You do not belong into this world no more. You do not belong into the world of the living. Find the light and speak to it in an authoritative manner. Okay. Understand that not all spirits are parasites. Some spirits are lost souls. Some spirits don't understand that they have passed away. And then there is residual energy. You have to understand all that. If it is a lost soul, and they're already lost, you don't want to speak to it in a way that's going to make that spirit, they're already lost as it is. You don't want to make them feel more lost. So try to be understanding of the emotion of what that spirit is going through. And I had this one case where it was the spirit of a young little girl, and she was lost. And so in a calm voice, but in an authoritative voice, I let the spirit understand that it did not belong to the world of the living no more, and it needed to go into the light. It needed to find that peace. It deserved to find that peace. But again, if it is a threatening spirit, listen to your emotions. Listen to how do you feel? Do you feel threatened? Do you feel fear? Does the hair stick in the back of your neck? If it does so, and you feel threatened, then that's when you say, no, wait, stop. You need to go find the light. You do not belong in the world of the living. So speak to the spirit in the manner of, how do I want to say this? Like I said, if it is a lost spirit, sometimes they don't understand that they are dead. They need help to cross over. Be understanding of the spirit's emotion, the spirit's energy. Sometimes the spirit, just because it's angry, it's because they cannot find the light. So try to listen to your intuition and to your emotions when you're speaking to a spirit, is what I'm trying to say. Another item that I use when I spiritually investigate or do spiritual investigation, or even when I do sesiones, which are seance, misas, and veladas, and espiritismo, is, I have them in my house, but if I'm going to do an investigation, I often carry a little bag. And within my little bag, I have a holy water. Holy water is great for defense, for protection. I like to use Catholic water. Use water from your tradition. This water I mix with salt. It's good for creating a barrier of protection around you. Okay, so use salt, holy water. Awesome for spiritual protection. I'm going to talk about, and I've talked about these other items, alumbre or alum. Okay, what else do I have here? Camphor. Camphor. I'm going to show you what that is in a second. And I'm missing an item in the back because it's empty. But anil. Also in my bag, sometimes I have a little vial of salt. Okay, because I like to sprinkle salt around myself to create a protection barrier. Here I have sal azul. And I've made this. This is blue salt, which I mixed regular sea salt, crystal salt, and just household salt. And I mixed it with, where is it? Anil. Sorry about that. In Spanish, they're known as the 3 A's. Anil, alcanfor, y alumbre. In Spanish, in English is alum, alumbre, anil, I guess, alcanfor, camphor. And then usually in the bag I have a vial or a little thing of salt. I sprinkle it around, create a protection barrier on myself. When I go to investigate a person's house and I cleanse the house, I like to create a circle of protection after, I help them. Again, not all spirits within a home, just because you have spirit within a home does not mean that the spirit is threatening. Sometimes the spirit is very protective of the home, and to get rid of those spirits is not a good idea, because you can be that once those spirits are gone and they're actually protecting the home, what you're doing is you're allowing it to become a vacant for other lower level entities to come in. So please, when you are investigating a home, make sure that the spirit is not of a threatening nature. And if it is of a threatening nature, call on the spirits that protect the home or protect the area to come in. And not just those spirits, you can call on your guardian angel, your saints, your divinities, whatever, to come and take residence within the home. So here you will see a plate that I have 3 items that we use a lot within Hispanic, Caribbean spirituality, espiritismo, espiritualismo, la brujería, santería. Very important tools that we use, especially people who communicate or interact with the spiritual world. And I've done videos below. I've done videos on these items before, and I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. Go check out those videos. They're important because I just want to touch base really quickly. I don't want to keep repeating myself on these items, but I'm going to, of course, mention them since we are doing a video on a spiritual protection or techniques for those who are paranormal investigators. So the first one that you see right here is alumbre or alum. Okay, very important crystallized, well, it's like a crystal. Okay, you can see it right here. You'll find these in botanicas. You can see it on my skin. Okay, so how does alum work? Well, it goes deeper than what I'm going to explain, so I'm just going to give you a really rough draft just for this video. But alum or alumbre is well known for its water purification. It inhibits bacterial growth within water. It attracts fine particles within the water and settles them down to the bottom of the water. So in Espiritismo, we understand that in order for a spirit to manifest, what the spirit does is they absorb the water particles within the air around them. They absorb those electrons, that energy, and they use that to manifest. They use the bacteria, the electrons within the water particles within the air to manifest their energies. So this, again, like I said, it will it will purify the water within the air, that bacterial growth within the water that the spirits need in order to manifest, especially lower level spirits. And like I said, it helps it settle down. So now we have a Camphor or Camphor. Okay, this is there's like 3 or 4 in here, and I've talked about this before, but Camphor is well known for its cleansing properties against dark, unwanted energies. It can give you a sense of liberation from negative emotions and energies. Those negative emotions that the spirits, lower level spirits or lower level vibrations will make you feel. So Camphor is great for that. It uplifts your mood, to a higher level of vibration. Camphor is good for dispelling negative emotions, fear. Okay, spirits, they use your own fear. They feed off of your fear. So Camphor is good. It's an item that's very good for helping us to control our fear. Camphor is associated with our warrior spirit guides. It attracts those spirit guides that we have in our spiritual court. Every human has spirit guides and spiritual courts, but it attracts warrior spirit guides, warrior angels, very sacred to them. And so when you're using this, you're attracting those energies of your warrior spirit guides to go within you, so it will banish from within you timidity and fearfulness. Okay, Camphor is used when you feel stressed. A lot of spirits will make you feel stressed. They will bring conflict within your mind, conflict within yourself. So Camphor is also good for that. So this is one of the most important tools that we use within Espiritismo, and it helps to dispel those spirits that attach themselves to us. Then we have over here Alumbre, and Alumbre, I'm sorry, not Alumbre, Anil. This is Alumbre, Camphor. They all start with an A in Spanish. Alumbre, Camphor, y Anil. So it's Alum, Camphor, and Anil. Anil is good for protection. It is the color of the third eye chakra, which is on the head. So it gives you clairvoyance, to let you see. Spirits often make themselves seem more intimidating than what they are. They will put thoughts within your brains. So this Camphor will help you open up your third eye so that you can, first of all, shield yourself better. As I was stating, what these 3 items help us do, whether we understand it, is they do help us ground, they help us center ourselves, and they help us shield ourselves. Within Hispanic Espiritismo, Caribbean Espiritismo, you will often see goblets or fuentes of water. This is a fuente or a glass. We call it un fuente, which in English is a fountain of water. It's a glass of water, a simple glass. And you can see right here that this glass of water, when I first poured it in, it was clear water. And this water absorbed energy from the room around me. I'm going to put it like so you can see it. It absorbs some form of energy within the water, and it creates these bubbles. You see these bubbles? These little burbujitas. Now, this energy does not necessarily mean it's negative or it's positive, but it is energy that has got trapped within the water. So this fuente becomes, the best way I can explain it, it's like the Venus flytrap, the plant that it's an open flower and flies get stuck in and it traps it. So it becomes like that. It traps that energy. So the first time or whenever I'm spiritually investigating a house, I always place a glass of water on the highest point, usually on top of a refrigerator of the person's house, as I'm investigating the house, just to see what I absorb. This does not necessarily, like I said, it does not necessarily mean it's positive or negative, but there is energy within the house. So what I like to do, and you'll often see in Espiritismo, we will put a alumbre within the water, like so. Okay, we will put an Camphor or Camphor within the water, and we will put anil again within the water. Okay, this helps, you see, this helps right now to cleanse and purify. I'm going to show you up close. It's going to help cleanse and purify this energy, whether it's negative, whatever energy that is. It could be negative, it could be stagnant, but you can see it's already doing its spiritual work. And a lot of times in a Caribbean Spiritism, you will see that many Espiritistas will put a metal cross, crucifix. It could be just a simple cross. The cross represents the four corners of the universe, as above, so below, the realm of the living and the realm of the dead, where the living and the dead meet. Okay, so what this creates, a cross creates, is a doorway or a passageway from the world of the living to the world of the dead. So if something is stuck, an energy or a spirit that is stuck within the world of the living or the dead, this becomes like an antenna which absorbs the electrons that the spirits need to manifest. It absorbs it. So often you'll see that we place it into the fuente of water. So it becomes like a lightning rod which attracts that energy, that energy from the spirit, and it gets trapped within the water. Now we'll leave that there, and we do a lot of prayers. This only works if you have faith in it. In Espiritismo, we do have a lot of faith in that, so we use that a lot. I want to make sure you can see it all. So we use it a lot. Okay, we leave it there for a few days. We pray, we cleanse, and after the few days, then we get rid of this water. We either flush it down the toilet if it's cold out in the Caribbean where it's hot. On a hot, sunny day, when it's hot outside, we throw this water outside, and as the sun evaporates that water into the atmosphere, into the air, that energy, it gets enlightened, and it vaporizes up into the heavens or into a realm where it needs to go. It goes into that doorway of light where that energy needs to go. So I want to show you the cross. And as you can see how it's bubbling? This is absorbing some energy. Does not necessarily mean it's a spiritual energy. It could be my own energy. It could be that I'm feeling negative. I could be sick. So it's picking up that energy within the air and it's having it trapped in here. But in Espiritismo, we use this also for lower level entities, for spirits that get stuck within an atmosphere. So that, again, this becomes like an antenna. Okay, this steel crucifix becomes an antenna. Again, it represents as above, so below. The realm of the higher gods in the bottom of the cross represents the realm of the dead. And this represents over here the physical realm where we live. And in the center is the doorway between both those realms. So you can see, like I said, it's like an antenna. And that energy goes through here and gets trapped within the water. And I just wanted to show you. You could see it bubbling. It's picking up this energy. This again does not necessarily mean that it is a spirit. It could be that you're sick. It could be your own emotions. It could be your fear. It could be you're sick, you're nervous, your anxiety. It could be other people who come to your house and their energy gets trapped within the air. So again, this is great for cleansing and purifying the home. But when it comes to when we're doing spiritual investigations of the home, this is something that we do often to attract any lower level entity or any energy that gets stuck within the air or within the home or within the surrounding. We use this so that it gets trapped within the water. You can see it's just bubbling. And there's nothing that I added to it but the Camphor, the Alumbre, and the Anil, and the cross. Again, if you don't have no faith in this, then just use, in Spiritismo we use the crucifix, okay? Because the greatest symbol of the resurrection or reincarnation, But if you want, you can just use any cross. The cross is used in ancient cultures, predates Christianity, okay? But in Espiritismo, we do use that symbol with a crucifix, and it's often a stainless steel crucifix. So I want to go a little bit further with el alumbre, or the alum, which you see I have too, because I want to talk a little bit about crystals. And a lot of people read the crystals, that's very new agey. Crystals have been used in spirituality for thousands and thousands of years. Yes, it's come back within the new age, but I don't want to go too far with that. But I want to talk about, excuse me, alumbre or alum. Alum is composed of sulfate or salt and, aluminum. Sorry, lost my brain there. Aluminum and sulfate. Sulfate is salt, and then we have the aluminum. Aluminum is a very protective metal, projects energy. It is ruled by Mercurio, and the element of air. So it also is good for shielding and for defense. Okay, it creates a shield and it creates a defense. So I just want to talk a little bit or touch a little bit more on. So now I want to talk about crystals when it comes to for protection for spiritual investigators. A lot of people would be like, crystals, are you going a little new agey? No, actually, crystals have been used thousands since the beginning of mankind, and it's mentioned in every religion. You will find it in ancient pyramids, in ancient Chinese culture, crystals. And here I have an onyx, and I have a quartz crystal spear, okay? And this one that I'm going to give to my godson. Now you will use, crystal is actually mentioned in the Bible around 200 times, usually as a protective item, very protective. 200 times it's mentioned in the Bible. Actually, the Earth's crust has around 80% crystal around it. So we're literally on like a crystal ball floating in the universe somewhere. But yeah, crystals have been used in all cultures for protection, especially when it comes as a shielding to protect us from lower level entities. It becomes like a doorway, like this crystal shard. You can see it has a base, and it kind of symbolizes like a pyramid or pyramid in Egypt or a pyramid in Mexico, or even the Taino semi, which I'll show a picture right there, that diamond form, where it shows that which is lower level entity rising up into enlightenment. Crystals, again, have been used in ancient cultures. You will see it, the crystal skull used in Aztec and Mayan cultures. This is a quartz crystal skull. Again, you will see quartz crystals used if people who do divination. I have a black onyx. You have to have faith in it, okay? Because the crystal does absorb the faith that you give to it. So you place your energy into it. You ask the crystal to do what you want. And in this case, when it comes to spiritual investigation, you want the crystal or the quartz crystal to protect you, to shield and to absorb negative energy. So it's like a crystallized water. It becomes like that water, where I use water, where it becomes like a fly trap, and it attracts the spirit into it. Spirits often do get trapped into crystals, and that's why you will see a lot of when people they do divination with crystals, there's a spirit that's trapped in that gives the person information. Again, in ancient cultures, they use the Aztec and the Mayans, they use the crystal skulls because they believed that it was imbued with a spiritual energy that resided within the crystal. King Solomon used, there was a ring, the ring of King Solomon, where he used, this is a starfire onyx, I think it is. Again, it's very protective. So yes, crystals are very protective, and a lot of people don't understand that. So yes, even if you have something of a ring that will protect you, you have to have faith in it. If you have no faith in it, if you don't direct it to do what you want it to do, it's not going to do nothing for you. So this is not something that I wear just because it looks cool. It's something that I wear to protect myself, to absorb. Crystals, I also use silver, which I'm going to go in the future, in a second. But crystals are very important when it comes to protection and shielding for spiritual investigators. It doesn't have to be something this big. It could be little crystal shards. You can hang it around your neck. You can put it in your pocket. If you feel something negative around you, take that crystal and cleanse yourself with it. Okay? Have that crystal absorb that energy that the spirits might be sending your way, that emotion that the spirit you want to. So in a way, this creates that, it helps you ground, center, and shield. Okay, so please, crystals are so important. A lot of people will be like, that's so new agey, but you will see this in all cultures, all over the world. And this is something that is coming back into popularity within the New Age movement. But this is as ancient as time itself, since the ancient shamans have been always using crystals as a sacred item. And like I said, it's mentioned not just only 200 times in the Bible, but you will see crystals for protection and for shielding in all cultures. Ancient Egyptian, ancient African, Chinese, Southern America, Native Americans. Okay, so I just wanted to go with crystals as a talisman or an amulet to use. You can hang it, on a chain. Again, wear it. You have to have faith in it, and you have to have it. You have to place the faith within it. Because if you have no faith in it, it's not going to. Another item that I use when it comes for spiritual protection, when it comes to spiritual investigation, is an eau de cologne. Not so much perfume. You can use oils if you want, but in Espiritismo, we use a lot. And right here I have agua de ruda, okay, for cleansing, for purifying. This cleanses the aura, the shield, especially when something is coming towards us or on top of us. Something attaches itself. So it becomes like a spiritual sanitizer. It sanitizes the body from the parasitic energies of a spirit that attaches itself towards you. Here we have basil, cananga. Also I have sandalwood. Okay, you can find these at any botanica. And I think this is ylang ylang or patchouli or ylang ylang. One of those. Okay, this is patchouli. Sorry, this is ylang ylang. Okay. But one of the most important ones that we use in Espiritismo, the one that everyone uses, is agua florida, Florida water. It's an eau de cologne. It doesn't last long in the body, but it's there to protect you, to shield you. So often, it was discovered that this worked within spiritual circles in Puerto Rico and in Cuba in the 1800s, when mediums would get mounted and they were coming back, to the body. They noticed that this cologne helped the medium ground themselves. So great. Oftentimes I will open my agua florida when I'm in a location that I'm investigating and I feel threatened. I use this as a whistle, literally. So what I do is okay, so I use it as a whistle, and I get the spirit's attention. I put a little bit in my mouth, and it don't swallow this, ever swallow it. and you spray it at the spirit. And you say, en nombre del Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo, I recognize you. So you get his attention. Okay, you get its attention. And you spray the spirit with it. Then you can take a little bit of the, don't swallow this, it doesn't taste good. Take a little bit of that agua florida and you cleanse yourself. The most important part that you want to cleanse always, and I always tell people, is the back of your neck. Spirits usually, we see our spirit through our third eye. Okay, we don't necessarily see our spirit. We often think we do see it with our physical eyes, but it's our third eye. The more open your third eye is, the more you're going to see it with your physical eyes. But spirits attach themselves through the back of the neck, which is that little part of the neck, kind of goes like that. It's a little bit indented, and spirits attach themselves through there, and they attack the pineal gland, which is the seat of the soul. So whenever I cleanse myself and I feel a negative spirit on top of me, I take a little bit of the agua florida, pa fuera, pa fuera. This is something that we do in Caribbean, afuera. You want it off you, okay? Okay, you're telling the spirit, I'm not the one, you're not messing with me. So cleanse yourself always in the back of your neck. Y pa fuera. Okay, great tool. Again, if there's something there that's in front of you, let it know that you see it. I see you. And always, you don't want to swallow this. Whistle and cleanse. So the agua florida becomes like a spiritual sanitizer. One of the best spiritual sanitizers that you can use. And again, I cleanse and I start from the back of my neck and I throw. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, well, when you're throwing, aren't you throwing the energy back into the surrounding? This is where water, a receptacle, a fuente of water comes. You can use a glass. It doesn't have to be this big. This is something that we use in Espiritismo. This is a fuente. So when I cleanse, I don't know if you can see it right there. Okay. When I cleanse, I want the spiritual energy to get trapped within the water. So I take the agua florida and I cleanse, cleanse my head because that's where it's attacking. And into the water. Okay? And I have everyone throw all that energy that the spirit is throwing, that parasite, because these spirits that attach themselves are like parasites. It's like a germ. It's like it creates the disease, a weakness within you, a fear, anxiety. You want to, and it starts right here. You want to pick it up, afuera, recogerlo, pick it up, and into the water. Okay? Okay, so don't forget your water. It doesn't have to be this big. It could be a little glass, but when you are tapping, make sure that the glass is thick enough that you're not going to break it, okay? You don't have to tap really hard, but enough that you do not touch the water, but enough that you're putting that energy that you want to trap into the water, into the fuente, okay? It's another way I protect myself when I'm doing spiritual investigations, especially when I come home. After every seance, session, or spiritual investigation of a home, of a location, there's a Spanish saying. It says, pan con penas son menos penas. Everything with bread is less grief. Maybe I'm saying that wrong in English. Bread, crackers, a source of food helps you to ground yourself, especially when you're working with spirit. You feel drained, you feel exhausted, you feel something that you need to ground yourself. So I always give bread, or I always eat bread, and I give bread to the mediums so that it helps them ground themselves. Another thing that I like to do is also have a drink. There's been times when orange juice, first of all, orange juice is the best. If you cannot drink orange juice because you're diabetic, it's got too much sugar. Sometimes I've even ran to Tang because I didn't have orange juice. But if you can't have orange juice or Tang, you get a glass of water, add some lemon or lime, drink that, or orange blossom. Beautiful. It will purify yourself inside you. It will help ground you. I always make sure I pray them. It's like a spiritual medicine. So I have a little bit of orange blossom, a glass of water with lime or lemon, orange juice, anything with citrus. It's very good. It's like, think about some people who have diabetic, not all, but some people who have, I don't know much about diabetes, but some people who have diabetes, they need that sugar. The sugar helps them ground them, helps them bring them back. So that's good. And if you do suffer from diabetes that you cannot have too much sugar, then just add water with lemon and lime. Have a piece of bread or something that will ground you. Okay, bread represents the earth. It's going to ground you. It's going to stabilize you. It's going to bring you back to your senses and to yourself. And that's why you will see bread and wine given in all cultures, in Catholicism, in ancient pagan rites, in Spiritismo, in Voodoo. When they work the spirit, you will see that they always give something to drink and something to ground yourself. And in Spiritismo, within Hispanic cultures, we always have bread, el pan espiritual. In the Christian religion, that is like the body of Christ. And then the wine, you can use wine if you want. Careful with wine because it can attract spirits sometimes. But we use a lot of citrus waters to purify the inside of yourself. Make sure that when you are eating bread to ground yourself, that it is blessed by someone that can bless the bread. It'll be blessed, blessed in the name of your divinity, of your spirit guides, of your angel. It will help you ground. Another thing also is when you drink orange juice, lemonade, water with a splash of lime or lemon or orange blossom, add a few drops of holy water, not a lot, okay, and bless it, para arriba, para abajo, para el centro y para dentro. This will help you purify you. It will help you cleanse inside from any entity or energy that it might have gone with inside you. So again, just bless those items. It's so important to bless all these items when it comes to any form of spiritual and protective defense when you're doing investigations or when you're working in the realm of spirit. If you cannot find anil, okay, you can find anil in Indian markets, in Hispanic markets, okay. If you cannot find anil or indigo balls, I'll show a picture of indigo balls right there. You can find this in mostly any cleaning department stores where they sell the cleaning parts. This is Mrs. Stewart's bluing. It's great for whitening your white clothes, believe it or not. But another thing that I do, I'm going to get my fuente back up right here so you can see it. And I take just a few drops of the Mrs. Stewart's whitening or bluing. Just a few drops. Okay, you don't want a lot. Okay, so I got one. I don't know if you can see it right there. Okay, I don't want to drop it. Put it in my hand. Okay, it's going to be a little blue for a little bit. That's a little bit too much, but cleanse yourself. Okay, cleanse yourself. Take a little bit of the blue, make a sign of the cross on your third eye for protection. Okay, just a sign of the cross, and cleanse yourself with that. Okay, if you can find, this will wash off, don't worry, but if you can find the indigo balls or the anil, take a little bit of the anil, make a sign of the cross there, a sign of the cross there, on each of your muñecas, on the back of your neck, on the soles of your feet. You can also use cascarilla. I'll show you a picture of cascarilla there. You can use that for the same purpose. It will help you protect and shield yourself when you are doing spiritual investigations. I'm going to wash my hands because they are blue, but again, when you add that, cleanse yourself and into the water. Now I'm going to go into smoke, okay? It could be smoke of anything. It could be your favorite incense. I like to use frankincense and myrrh. You can use Palo Santo, or you can use sage. A lot of people frown on sage lately. It works perfect for me. I like it, but I use sage. I use incense, resins. So what I do is I take this and I purify myself. Start with the head, and then just cleanse. You can use this, you can use tobacco. You will see some people use the smoke of tobacco, and you will cleanse yourself, and you will cleanse those around you. Make sure they are nice and cleansed and purified. This will help cleanse your aura, the auric shield that protects you from spirits attaching themselves to you, and the parasites or those energies of the lower level entities going into you. So this will strengthen your aura. You can use, again, sage, you can use tobacco smoke, you can use frankincense, myrrh, you can use whatever, any sacred smoke to purify and cleanse yourself. When using incense, tobacco, whether it's a cigar, smoke, I like to pray over it, I like to bless it, I like to consecrate it. For some reason, I don't have cigars. I don't know why. So I'm going to use a cigarette. I don't smoke inside my house. I like to smoke outside. But I'm going to use a cigarette. Just imagine that this is a cigar. So in Hispanic cultures, we like to bless it before we have it. We use it for spiritual protection. So I don't know an English prayer. Use whatever English prayer that you want. But I say, bendito la hostia, bendito el altar, bendito es el puro que me voy a fumar, and then I cleanse and purify myself. But bless it. Just bless in the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, Brahma, Shiva, whatever. Just bless it. The Holy Trinity, the three goddesses, whatever your tradition is, you bless it before you use it. You make it sacred to those spiritual energies, and you direct that smoke to cleanse and to purify. So as you can see, there are hundreds and hundreds of ways of spiritually protecting yourself, especially when you're doing a spiritual investigation, when you're doing a seance. Every culture has their own things. Follow your culture and follow your tradition. It's so important that you do that. I'm just showing you the way we do it in Espiritismo. One last item that I want to talk about before I end the video, because it's pretty long, is spiritual protecciones, spiritual protections, amulets and talismans. You see that I always wear them around my neck. A lot of people think this is for show and tell, for design, or to let people know that I'm a brujo. Well, yeah, I guess. But these are also spiritual protections. I have this, and often I have my collares, which I keep hidden from the world. Always have a blessed amulet or talisman that goes around your neck. Now remember, I said that when spirits attack, you see them, first of all, you see them with your third eye, and they try to make an attack physically to the back of your neck, going into the pineal gland, to the seat of the soul. So you want to create a barrier around that area. Again, I have this on, and I have my collares. Okay, they have to be blessed and consecrated within the tradition that they are in. You just cannot go into a botanica and buy beads and think that they're going to protect you. They have no energy, and I'm not going to speak about how to consecrate them. They should be consecrated within the tradition of what they are for. These will not work for you if you have no faith and no belief in them. So if you're just wearing them just because you think it's going to protect you, it's going to do nothing. You have to have faith within the tradition of what it's for. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some spiritual protections. Now here I have, I spoke about crystals and stones and how they are used in many cultures. Here we have jade, a jade snake. I don't know if you can see that, okay. This is the jade snake that I like to use for protection, and I place this around my neck. This was given to me by Terry. I have Celtic spirit guides, so I have one of these, okay, that I like to, and it cools you down. It feels cool, and you can feel the cooling energy going on. This creates a barrier of protection. Other items that you will see, copper. This is very sacred to the Native American spirit guides. The Tainos use a lot of copper. This is Ataveira. Okay, again, it's a very powerful protection, blessed and consecrated by a person of the tradition. You will see amulets or talismans. This is let me get this so you can see it better. Pentacle, okay, consecrated and blessed. symbol of witchcraft, but also if you are spiritual, this could represent the 5 wounds of Christ. It could represent the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Okay, so make sure these are consecrated. Again, they have no power if you don't believe in it. This is you will always often see me wear, you can see that, the tetragrammaton. Okay, I like to wear it for spiritual protection. Okay, I place it here. Silver. Why do I use silver? Silver is like a mirror. First of all, these symbols it's like a doorway where the spirit will enter back into the world of spirit. But first of all, the spirit will see its reflection on the symbol. And oftentimes spirits don't like to see their own reflection. They get repulsed by their own reflection. They realize that they're dead. They realize that they're not alive. This is a way of, why can't I get this to work? This is a way of letting them see that they are no longer part of the world of the living. Sorry about that. Okay, so spiritual protections. In Espiritismo, we use el rosario, the rosary. Okay, again, let me get my box. A rosary. Okay, I have that one. And I have this one right here. This is the one that I use when I do veladas and novenas. So use a rosary. You have to have faith in the power of this. If you have no faith in the power of this, this works. Excuse me. This will not work for you. Whenever you put them on, you kiss them. Okay, because they are sacred tools of protection, and you sacredly put them on. When you take them off, you kiss them, thank them for protecting you and defending you, and just don't throw them. Hang them in a sacred place. Keep them in a place where it's very sacred. These are known as collares, protecciones. Protecciones means protections. Talismans, amuletos. Okay, they are consecrated. They are blessed within the tradition. Some cultures call them also banderas. Banderas, the best way I can explain banderas would be like flags. Now, when I'm saying flags, you're thinking flag, like a waving flag. Think of in times of war when the cavalry would come in, the horsemen would have their flags. So it's letting, when you're doing a spiritual investigation or anything like that, and the spirits see that you have this around your neck and they are blessed and consecrated, it lets the spirit know that you are under protection of higher level spirits. So again, please have faith in your talismans, in your protecciones, in your banderas, because without the faith in it, it won't do nothing for you. Many times in Espiritismo, I'm going to take this off so you can show, you will hear that los collares will break. Okay, collares have to be prepared. Depends. There's the eleques that they're used in Santeria. Those have to be prepared by a santero, a santera. And then there's the collares that we use in Espiritismo. Those have to be consecrated and blessed by the Espiritista. But it lets the spirits know that you are under protection of your spirit guide. You're not by yourself. So you have to have faith that this is a symbol of your connection with your spirit guides. When your collares do break, some collares will break, that means that it absorbed a lot of negative energy that's on top of you, and it breaks it. The energy breaks it. When that happens, you should go to your godfather, your godmother, or someone who's older, or someone of a tradition that will bless and consecrate it. I've had rosaries break, literally. So again, I get a new rosary, I get it blessed in the Catholic Church, then I bring it to I do a velada espiritual, and I consecrate them and bless them myself, because I've been doing this my whole life. But my point is, you should have it blessed and consecrated by someone who is part of that tradition. If you're using a pentacle or a pentagram, have it consecrated or blessed by a witch, someone who practices that tradition. And you have to have faith in that talisman or that amulet, that protección, that bandera, for it to work. Now, to end the video, I want to end it where I've had this is awesome, great protection for spiritual investigators. But I've had people who've come to me and said, well, I've done all this, but I still feel like I'm being spiritually attacked. This is my answer. There's a few answers I have to that. Okay, first, one, like attracts like. And I want you to think about that for 1 second. Like attracts like. The apple never falls far for the tree, and the tree will bear its fruit. You will get the fruit from how the tree is. If the tree is healthy, the fruit will be healthy. If the fruit is rotting, then the tree is rotting. So you have to go deeper into yourself. In Espiritismo, or in spiritualism, we know ailments can be of a spiritual or of a material ailment. Okay, espiritual y material. Okay. Now, in order to be spiritually protected when it comes to spiritual investigation, you have to think about the pyramid, the spiritual pyramid. You have to be sound in mind, body, and soul. Okay? Mind, body, and soul. Body, you have to be physically, take care of yourself. If you drink too much, you're going to attract lower level entities. You know, I'm not saying drinking is bad, but when you drink too much, you're allowing energies, negative energies. There's a reason why liquor is called spirits, because it does attract negative energies into your life. I'm not saying that drinking is bad. Jesus drank his wine. What I'm saying is don't abuse of that. It will attract negative energies into yourself. So mind, body, take care of your health. Take care of your health. Physical exercise, do some exercise, meditation, prayer, do all these things. So mind, body, and soul. When it is, and we're healing you spiritually, or you're doing an investigation, I've had a lot of people that say, you know, I believe in my spirit guides, and blah, blah, blah. But whenever something happens in their life, they quickly come to me and they say, well, you know, well, where are my spirit guides? You know, I do so much and they're not there for me, and blah, blah, blah. It's because you have no faith. You have no faith, and faith moves mountains. So you have to have that spiritual triangle, that spiritual pyramid on fleek, on point, mind, body, and soul. They have to be all aligned for you to be well protected spiritually. And again, if you are getting attacked and you're doing all this with faith, then you have to come to realization many times. And an espiritista, someone who is, what's the word that I want to use? Sorry. We have to be responsible enough that when someone is doing all this and they still are getting physically, spiritually attacked by spirit, that we have to realize that it's not, it is espiritual, but there's also material. There's something there in the core, deeper down. It could be a soul loss. It could be a traumatic experience that this person went through, where now they also need the help of someone who can help them, whether it be through spiritual cleansing, through a psychological evaluation, or maybe the person just needs to reach deep down by someone who can help them heal wounds from the past, because these wounds that have never been healed, they do attract lower level entities that can attack you. So please, it's so important to balance mind, body, and soul. I can keep going and going and going, and I don't want to make this a long video, which I'm sure it's already long. So I want to show you now the cup that I usually don't leave the cross because they're expensive. But when I go to a client's house and I do feel negative energies or negative spirits within the home, what I like to do is I leave a glass with, like I said, with a anil, Camphor, and Alumbre. Okay, Alum, Camphor, and oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Alum, Camphor, and anil. Okay, so you can see right here that this is absorbing. Okay, you can see that bubble right there. Whatever is trying to escape is trying to escape, and it is not escaping, it's trapped. I usually leave this, tell the client to leave this in the house for 7 days. 7 to 9 days. I tell the client I give them 7 or 9 candles. They could be the chime candles, the white candle, emergency candles, or the tea lights, and I tell them to light one every day and say a prayer. It could be the prayer to Saint Michael. It could be the prayer, any prayer, depending on their tradition. But you can see right here that this fuente has trapped an energy right there. After the 7 to 9 days, this is removed from the house. On hot days, it could be thrown out into a tree. On a hot day, if it is winter and it's cold out, this is flushed down the toilet. But you can see it is absorbing. Something is trying to escape, but it can't. It is enveloped within this bubble. I don't want to touch it too much. But also, in closing, after any spiritual investigation, first of all, you must go to a spiritual investigation clean. Always go very clean. And after every spiritual investigation, cleanse yourself. Take a bath. Cleanse yourself with water. Purify yourself. When you're in the home of the person you're investigating and you are done, take a bowl of water and wash your hands. Lávate las manos como Poncio Pilato. Wash your hands like Pontius Pilate. Just cut the energy. And then when you get home, eat a piece of bread, drink something, some juice or a lemonade or lime water, and take a nice salt bath. Purify yourself, cleanse yourself, use the prayers that are most important to you, and tell the client to remove this or get rid of this after the 7 or 9 days. Please leaving them candles and leave them hope. Never leave a client's home without some hope and some faith that they can call on their spirit guides. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. I will be doing a future video on probably paranormal stories, my own paranormal stories. If you want to see that, let me know. I'm going to end the video. Sancista Brujo Luis, Santo Sunset. This is a long video. Okay, so I want to show you real quick. This is the following day. You can see that everything is gone down. The bubbles went down. You can still see that bubble there. Now, this could mean that it's spiritual, or it could be any energy that this picked up. Now, you've got to understand that most spirits coexist with the living. And in fact, many spirits don't even realize that they're living with anyone in the home. That's another topic. That's another video. So I did some investigating because I was wondering, is there something negative? And then I realized, well, wait a second, I was sick. I had the flu. That's why you see me coughing, during the video. Last week I was real sick. So I did some investigating around the house just to look around, just to make sure that I was safe. I did some divination with my spirits. But this looks like it picked up the energy from when I was sick last week. Last week I had the flu. So again, I did some investigation around the house. Being a spiritual person, I coexist with my spirit guides, with my spirits within my home. I have pet animals. Now, usually when it's a negative spirit or a negative energy of any kind, they absorb the energy of weaker life forms, usually plants. Then from plants, they go to, if you have a pet bird, small animals, fishes, okay, they absorb the energy, and oftentimes, sadly to say, those animals do pass on because of the negative spirit absorbing their energy. Another thing, I said the plants. Well, like I said, last week I was real sick, and I was doing what's this picking up? And I realized, well, look at this garlic that I have by my door. You can see it sprouting. If it was a negative energy or a negative spirit, my plants would be dead. My plants would be, we're in the middle of winter. They're all green. They all look good. And this garlic by the door that I have for protection, it's sprouting and it's growing. So this is a good indication that what the glass picked up was not a spiritual energy, more of the energy that I was throwing off because I was sick. Okay, so again, when it is the cup and you're doing the cup, you have to always make sure that it is spiritual And it is not that it's picking up that the person is sick or that someone is sick, someone is weak within the home. And another way of checking that is check if plants are growing within the home. How are the animals within the home, especially if they have birds or cats or fishes? How are they living? How are the plants living? So I just wanted to show that. And sorry, I know the video is long. I'm going to end it. Sancista Brujo Luis, Santo Sanse.